Hello, everybody, and welcome to another live stream with Steve WB on Bennett's Reviews and How-Tos. And we are still talking about RC cars. That's kind of become my niche. I do these reviews for a different couple RC car companies. And so I like to bring those budget RC cars to you because not everybody can afford to spend $600, $700, or $1,000 on an RC car. And so I think it's beneficial for somebody to show you what's out there that's in a more budget-friendly price range, but it's still capable enough to have a really good time with. So that's what I'm trying to do. I always concentrate on the budget-friendly stuff because not everybody's going to go spend out so much money on whatever. It's the same way with my cameras. I always try to stay budget-friendly when I do camera reviews or microphone reviews and things like that. Like my little microphone up here, that's not even it's not a Shure mic, it's nothing expensive. It's actually a $20 microphone that I kind of modified and did a little work to. And that's probably why it doesn't sound the greatest, but it gets the job done, right? So you can hear what I'm saying. But what we're going to be doing tonight is we're going to be going over, of course, the DeeRC cars. We still have the old 9300 sitting here. Little DeeRC 9300. We got the 9500E. I have, what's the other one? Oh, the 302E. That's a very nice little RC car right there. What is this? But the 302, there's a secret about that car I'm going to share with you guys in a little bit. It's a brushless motor by DeeRC. But I've also thrown in a couple legendary ones as well. These are available on Amazon. And you have the legendary Triton, which is a tiny little fellow right here. And then I also have the legendary Legend, which is their 10 scale. And I just kind of wanted to do that so to show you the difference between the two, because the legendary stuff, you can get parts for like the DeeRC, but it's a little bit more toy grade than what most of the DeeRC stuff is. So I just kind of wanted to compare those side by side for you and just to show you. And then I have some footage preloaded. I did a little bash session today with the 360 camera. This is the camera that I use whenever I'm doing RC stuff because I can just set it up at a central location and have it recording everything. And you just drive around. And then when you upload your footage, you can just track the car. And it's like you having a cameraman sit there, track the car everywhere you go. But we'll talk about that camera a little bit later on too as well. I have to do something with that cord. It's driving me crazy. But anyway, so we are going to see some of that footage. I do ramp it off the roof again, which is the little 9500E. It's a toy grade, but it's really tough. I set up a big ramp in the front yard. I got some footage of us ramping that. So with that being said, we might as well get to moving. We're going to start with the DeeRC 9500E. If you let me add my banner real quick. I knew I was forgetting something. There you go. On the bottom of the screen, scrolling across, you're going to see a banner. That banner has coupon codes. You can use those codes at checkout to get... What's up, Susie? Susie's in the house. She's another live streamer, so if you see her, click her, check her out. I think she does her lives every single day. Me, I can barely do it every other day, but she's more dedicated to the cause, I guess. But anyway, we're going to get back on. This is the 302E. I got them all cleaned up. I did a little photo shoot with them today because I'm doing their full reviews for YouTube and Amazon. But we're going to start with this one. This is the 9500E. This car is $74.99, and you'll get 20 or 30% off of this car if you use the coupon code. So it's a very budget-friendly car. It is four-wheel drive, but this is a little bit more toy grade than the other DeeRCs, but it is a capable car. This is the one I've jumped off the roof about 3 times. I was ramping in the front yard with it today. I tried to break it. It didn't break. And it's just a fun little car. It does 17 miles an hour and I have that on my phone. I have the little GPS, the Sky RC that I have been doing the drags on. So, you know, I can tell how many G's it pulls, what the top speed is and things like that. And I know this one pulls 0.7 G's on launch, and it does 100 feet in like 4.7 seconds, and it does 17 miles an hour. So pretty zippy. Not the fastest RC out there, but for what you're going to pay, the $74.99, if you spent that at Walmart, Kmart, Target, wherever, you're going to get half the speed and half the car. So it's got the nice little truck body. You can see it's got the spoiler on the back, and it does have a hidden secret on the inside. This is what the bottom plate looks like. Let me know if things get funky or out of focus. I switched back to my old camera for live streams because it's manual focus, and I can actually control that and it won't be walking on us like it did last time. But we're going to take the covers off and we're going to see what she's got underneath. And the first thing you're going to notice is these bodies are Lexan painted. They're durable, they're light, they're more of the hobby grade type bodies. They are replaceable as well, which is a very nice thing to have because eventually you are going to crack and break one, and it's nice to know that you can get another one. And even some of the DeeRCs, not this one, but some of them even come with a second clear body or 2 bodies altogether. But I'll show you which car that body goes with in a minute. But here's the hidden secret on this little car right here. And this car is one of the few RCs out there that actually has 2 motors. It's got a motor in the front and a motor in the rear. They are both brushed motors. It does run on a 2S pack, which means 7.4 volts. But you get 2 batteries with this car, and you're going to get about 20 minutes of runtime per battery. So you get 40 minutes off the 2 batteries, 45 even, possibly. I mean, this thing goes and goes. You'll get tired of driving before the batteries die. And it's just a nice little car. If you look up front, it does have the plastic shock bodies. And basically, it's all plastic. It has plastic dog bones, but it does have independent suspension in the front, which is a good thing, but it's oilless shocks. There's no oil in these shocks, so it is quite bouncy. But like I said, this is more for a beginner level. This is for the person starting out in RC that, you know, is just getting going and doesn't want to spend a ton of money. You know, with the $74.99 plus the 20% off of that, you're getting a really good car for 60-something bucks. But so the independent suspension in the front is good, but when you switch to the back, you're going to notice it's got a straight axle. It's not independent, you know, so that's kind of where it turns into a toy grade right there. It does have the plastic differentials, and but it does have the friction coil shocks in the back. But it's a nice, very durable little truck, and I'm going to show you some evidence of that right now. So if I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to switch the camera, and I'm going to show you. I'm going to start off with the ramping one. And of course, the very first jump of the day, I hit my camera, and my 360 camera, these cameras are like 400 bucks, fell, but it happened to land on the concrete and not on the lens. And I ended up wiping it out 3 times before I got smart and put it in the grass. Whoa. So let's go ahead. I'm going to cue this video right here. I'm going to let you see. And what's good, if you notice all these camera movements, that's all off this 360 camera. The camera's in one place, and I edited where I wanted the camera to look in post. So if you're into RCs and you like recording yourself, the 360 camera is the way to go. And that's where I wipe the camera out. Womp, womp, womp. Oh wait, I can do that this way. But anyway, we're going to take that video off. This video right here is going to be a little more exciting. This is me actually throwing it up on the roof of my house, and I'm going to jump over to the trailer, and then I'm going to bail off the trailer right onto the concrete and then into the bushes. But I'm just trying to prove by doing this craziness with this little 9500E is how durable these little cars are, especially for something that's well under $100. That was my first fail. Let me know, how does it sound? Can you guys hear me just fine? Is the background music too loud? Just let me know. Drop a comment. This time I'll make it to the trailer though. I can't see right now. You'll see the camera shake when I climb up on the car to actually see on the roof. Thank you for the compliment on the 360 cam. It was a gorgeous day today until about 12:30, and then it rained the rest of the day. And that's where I took out the bushes. But you can see that this little car is a very tough little guy. It takes a beating and just keeps going. And, you know, it's just a fun little basher for the front yard. And I really had a good time with it, and it's fun. Like I said, it does 17 miles an hour. It's very capable in the grass. So if you have somebody just getting into RC, this is a good one to have. Plus, you can get extra bodies, and you can get replacement parts on Amazon. I agree. Thank you, Susie. And thank you. Boy, I'm not used to having comments. Y'all are distracting me. But anyway, great little car. 2 battery packs, 40+ minutes of runtime, 17 miles an hour, does a 100-yard drag race in about 4.78 seconds. I have the GPS data to back it up, and it tops out about 17 miles an hour. Pretty indestructible. I've crashed into walls. You saw me jumping it off the roof. You saw me ramping with it, having a grand old time. The servo has a built-in servo saver, so if you do catch a wheel or something, it's not going to just strip it out. I mean, it's a well thought out, pretty indestructible little car. If you break this car, you're just trying to break it, because I was trying to break it today and still didn't fully break it. So, I mean, it's still 100% fine, no issues whatsoever. And I didn't show you nearly all the wrecks that I was in today. I don't want to embarrass myself that much. But we're going to switch over, and we're going to go check out this next one. This is another really tough one. What the heck was that? I'm getting some weird sounds, some music playing. Oh, hold on. I wonder if y'all can hear that. Can y'all hear that goofy music? There we go. I was like, what is that? Thank you so much, Altone, for stopping by. I appreciate it. I'll take all the support I can get. And, I mean, we're here to have fun. I'm going to have to make sure I follow you, Al. I think I may, but if not, I'm going to look you up and make sure I follow you, try to support you back and catch some of your lives as well. Now, this is going to be, yes, Susie, what the music was in the background on my YouTube channel, it was left on autoplay, and a cat video popped up, and it was some cat video, so I don't know. Imagine I had a cat video on YouTube. But anyway, this is the DeeRC 302E. This dude is bad. This also has a little secret to this car, but you can see it comes with this neon green and black body. It is 4-wheel drive. This is more of a hobby grade car. This car is $159, but you can get 20% off if you use the coupon code that I provided. And we're going to take the cover off. We're going to take a look at it. It does come with the wheel stiffeners on the side. You do have to put those on yourself. They don't come pre-installed, so they are optional if you want them on or not. It's got the spoiler. The spoiler's already on there. And let's just take the cover off of this car, and I'm going to show you why this car is at the price point it is, because you're getting quite a bargain at $159 for what you get, even though this car is small. Don't be fooled. Dynamite comes in small packages, and I'm going to tell you a little secret about this car too. That makes it a whole lot more fun. So here's the body. It is like sand. You can see my GPS is still mounted on the inside from doing speed runs with it. And nice little body. Now, this car does come with the clear body as well. So you can paint this yourself. You can come up with any paint scheme that you want. But on top of that, there's two ways to paint it, is what I was going to say. And what you usually do is you paint the inside with your paint scheme, and that's going to make it look shiny. It's going to make your paint scratch resistant, and it's going to be nice and tough. But the fun thing to do with these is, and I saw this on YouTube, I didn't come up with this, but you paint the inside all silver, and then you paint the outside whatever colors you want to paint it. And what happens is when you wipe out and you wreck and you go skidding and sliding and stuff, it'll take the paint off the top and make the silver reveal from the other side. And what that does is it looks like real time, like body damage. You'll see scratches in the car and stuff like that. And just gives it that cool, like it's been through the stuff look, you know what I mean? But it's nice to have the body so you can paint one yourself. So we're going to look inside this little dude right here. And the first thing you're going to see is this big brushless motor right here. That's right, this car is brushless, which means it's going to be faster. It's going to have more power. What this car also has is you have the aluminum body shocks all the way around. No plastic here, okay? Another thing that this has is it has the steel. You have the stainless steel dog bones or outdrives in the front. You have steel differentials in the front and rear. So you can see it's all steel components. Even the drive shaft connecting the front to the back is a steel rod that's about 1/4 inch in diameter. It's like the thickest drive shaft you're going to see on a car this small. And this little thing cruises about 19 miles an hour on a 2S battery. And I was talking about secrets of this, and I noticed that the speed rating on the website was faster than what I was getting out of this. So I contacted the manufacturer and I'm like, hey, I'm not getting nowhere near the speed that you said this can do. What's up with that? Well, they don't advertise the fact, because this is a 2S car. It's a 7.4 volt. They don't advertise the fact that you can put a 3S battery into it. And if you look at the speed controller on there, it'll tell you 2S or 3S. And what that means is instead of running 7 volts, you're going to be running 11 volts. And running 11 volts, I was hitting 30 miles an hour with this car. And that's not scale speed, that's actual speed. I was pulling the wheels and doing 30 miles an hour up and down the road. It was doing the 100-foot drag race in probably 3.8 seconds, 3.7 seconds. And it was pulling just right at 0.9 Gs, almost a full G on launch. So very quick little car when you bump it up to 3S. I mean, it was already fast on 2S, doing 19 miles an hour, but this is more of your hobby grade, just because of the fact that you have steel differentials, steel output shafts, the steel cups that the output shafts get put to. You have those aluminum shocks all the way around. I mean, it's just a nice little car. You get the two bodies, and it's tough too. I got a video for that too. Y'all want to see a video of how tough this little car is? We're going to cue it up right now. And car, ran 13 feet straight up in the air and landed very awkwardly and had 0 damage whatsoever. We're even going to watch the video. But just pay attention, because you see it hit the tree branch, and that's why I'm there, so you can see how far tree it actually went. And it's just a durable little car. It fell off, nothing happened to it. And just had a good time with this guy. I went to the skate park with it. I got footage of him thrashing through the dirt and everything else. I don't know if I loaded that video or not. Let me see. That's the car is, and this is only. You're going to gain about 30 miles an hour off. Again, my cameraman for this video. Down, wrap around, edit where you come. This little DeeRC 159. And that's where I wiped out. Okay, so as you see, it's a very fast little car. It rips really good. And like I said, that was on the 2S pack. That was only at 7.4 volts. Once I put the 3S battery in here, this thing was like really ripping. Instead of topping out at 19, 20 miles an hour, it's topping out at 30 miles an hour. And I mean, really, it's so fast on the 11 volt battery that it's so light, it's almost just uncontrollable. It just does donuts like crazy, and you can do donuts so fast that it'll just flip itself over. But if you're into RC and you like to film it and you put it on YouTube, or do like I do and you put it on Amazon or whatever, you may want to think about this camera right here. And I'm going to just talk about the camera for a minute. I did buy mine on Amazon. It's the Insta360 One X2, and you can either film with just one lens and use it like a regular action camera, or you can film in 360 mode. It does shoot 4K all the way around, but that's a 4K image in the full 360. So once you frame it, then it's more like a 1080p shot. But I mean, as you can tell from my videos, it's plenty clear enough for YouTube and Amazon and things like that. And it's just really nice because I just set this in the center of the action, and then you just drive around and do your thing. You don't have to worry about it. And then you can always come back later and you pick in the editing software, and it's super easy to do where you want the camera to look. And it's also great for like parties and socials. Like say if you were at a wedding, you could just set this up. If when they were do like the bouquet toss or whatever, and you don't have to worry about who's doing what where, because you're recording everybody all at the same time. So if something happens, you can always pull that video later, and you can cut out sections. You can either use the front view in one video, use the rear view in another video. I mean, it's just cool what you can do with it. And what a lot of people like about this too is all this footage that I got of this car running around. I can use that in 16:9 ratio for YouTube and Amazon. But if I want to do Instagram stories, I can reframe it for vertical as well. So you get all the different formats all at the same time, and you record everything all around you at the same time. So very convenient and very nice. Okay, enough on the camera. We were over here on the 302E. So it's a little brushless car. It's fully upgradable. You can upgrade the servo, the motor, the speed control. This is more of a hobby grade. Now your true RC purists, the ones that think that you have to spend $1,000 on a car for it to be hobby grade, they're going to argue and they're going to say this is a toy. The way I differentiate a toy from hobby grade is if it's upgradable or not, and if it's repairable. DeeRC, you can get most of the parts online. what parts you can't get on Amazon, then you can contact them, because every user manual they give you actually has an exploded view and a parts list. So you can order all the parts you want. You can put your own parts in it. You can upgrade the servo, upgrade the motor, upgrade the speed control, upgrade the shocks, upgrade the A-arms, the dog bones. You can upgrade everything on this car. So to me, that's hobby grade. And if you don't think it is, then I'd like to hear what your definition of hobby grade is. Because this one right here, this is made by a different company, and it's hard to see. Let me get the other one, the big one. It's over here. We're going to switch over to this one real quick, because I want to show you the difference between like this DeeRC and this one made by Legendary, and it's the Legendary Legend. I was going to do this one near the end, but you can see this is a full 10 scale. This is like a 16 scale car. This is 10 scale. The smaller the scale, you know, basically it would take 10 of these to make a full-size truck. It would take 16 of these to make a full-size truck, in case you're curious about scaling. Or at least that's how it was explained to me, just to keep it nice and simple. I'm the world's worst about losing these little body clips. But if you look inside this truck, okay, even though this is a very capable truck, it does 18 miles an hour. It's got very nice shocks. I mean, the shocks are amazing. It lands extremely soft. Look at this inside of this truck compared to the inside of this truck. This stuff is not easily accessible. It's not really that upgradable. In order to even see the motor, which is back here somewhere, you have to pull this whole thing apart just to even see the motor. So even though this is a very capable and fun truck, I would consider this more of a toy. I would consider this more of a hobby grade than this one. And it's just due to the fact that you're going to have a hard time servicing the motor. You're going to have a hard time upgrading it. And that's just how I look at it. But, you know, that's my opinion. You know what people say about opinions. We're not going to get into that. But we're going to come back to this one in just a minute. You can see it has double shocks in the back, single shocks into the front there. It's got steel dog bones and steel differentials as well. It's just a shame that they cover everything and make it so difficult to get to. But because literally to pull this cover off to even look at it, because I was trying to do it today, you have to pull the shock towers off and everything. You basically have to completely pull the car apart just to see what's inside. That's going to be a separate video for a separate day. All right, so we're going to continue on the DeeRC train. This one that I'm about to bring out for you, this is a hybrid. This is a little guy right here. This is the DeeRC 9300, and I call this one the little brother of the 302, because as you can tell, they're the exact same size. They can almost share the same body. It's just the mounts are a little bit different. But what the big difference is, this one is a brush motor. This one is brushless. And if you don't know, brushless motors, you get way more efficiency, way more power, way more speed. It's just a better setup all around. That's where the hobby has evolved to. In the early 90s, when I used to race RC in all these different states, it was all brushed. Brushless motors weren't even really a thing at that point. But the other things that separate this one from this one too is it has plastic shock bodies, not metal. The differentials are plastic gears. So shock bodies are plastic. The differentials are plastic. Has a brushed motor instead of brushless. And but with that being said, I'm not downing this vehicle by any means. You can get this car for $70, $69.99, plus rolling across the bottom of the screen there. You should be able to see my discount code that's going to get you, I think it's 20% off and maybe 15. I normally preload them, but I didn't have time to do that today, and I apologize for that. But the coupon code is there. And this little car does 18, 19 miles an hour. It's a true basher. I've jumped it, ramped it, crashed it many, many times, and I've had zero issues with this car. this little car is extremely durable. It does come with the Lexan body, as you can see. And what I like about the Lexan bodies is they're super light. They're replaceable because DeeRC does sell more of these. So if you do split and destroy your body, you can get another one. If you break a dog bone, you can get another one. You can replace these motors if you need to. That's what's good about these cars that separates them from the big box stores is you can get parts easily. Most of these parts are already on Amazon. So however fast you get Amazon packages, you can get another part for your car. And if it's not on Amazon, in the manual, let me get one for you. Here you go. This is a manual for this. I think it's the 9500E. But if you look, you get pictures of the parts and the part numbers and the contact information for the manufacturer. You get their address, you get their email address, and you get their phone number. So you can easily get those parts to get your car back up and running. To where if I bought this at Kmart, and I just say Kmart because they're closed, I think, and you crash it and you break the body, well, you're just SOL. You're not getting another body. And if you burn a motor up or something like that, you're just going to throw it away. And you know, if you go to Target and you buy a car for $70, you're probably going to have styrofoam wheels and it's going to go 10 miles an hour. It'll say 100 miles an hour on the box, but it'll say scale speed, which means 10 miles an hour. But, you know, you just get way more capable and serviceable vehicles with things like the little legendary cars and the DeeRC cars. And that's why I like to advocate for them so much, because no, this isn't going to go out and beat a Traxxas Rustler or whatever. I mean, it's not $300, $400, $500, $600, $700. But if you're getting into the hobby and you don't have a ton of money to spend on it and you want something that you can upgrade and have a great time with, then DeeRC and Legendary, they're really good vehicles for that. And I tend to lean towards the DeeRCs because you can see they make them more serviceable and more hobby grade. And they give you a lot of extra parts as well. They give you extra pinion gears. What else they give you? They give you extra screws. They give you the wheel stiffeners on the sides. And they even have an extra differential gear, the little metal gears that comes with those too. I'm not going to insult you by digging for them and looking for them. But lots of extra parts. So anyway, this is the 9300, 69 bucks. You can get 15-20% off of that. And a very capable basher for the front yard. I like the little 16 scales like this for the front yard because the big ones need more room to get up and just more room to do what you want to do with it. Where with the smaller cars like this, you know, you have a small space seems much bigger and you can have more fun in a smaller space. And they're just as fast as the big ones. And this car right here, like I said, if you put, and this is the 302E, if you put a 3S pack in this, this is a 30-mile-an-hour car. It goes so fast that if you start to do a donut and you put the hammer down on it, it's going to torque flip itself. It's spinning so fast. And if you can't have fun doing that, then you just can't have fun at all. But very fun little cars. You're going to have a great time with these. This is, like I said, the hobby grade one. This one's $159, and this is the 302E. There is a discount code for this one. And then this one is the DeeRC 9300. The 9300 comes with this red truck body like this. And the 302E comes with this more of like a short course, I guess you would call it, truck body style. But they also give you the second clear body that you can paint yourself. How cool is that? I guess you could just pin them both on and just use it as armor for the other one if you don't want to paint it. But super, super nice. Now what we're going to do is we're going to transfer over to what I call a real toy. These are, like, this is hobby grade. This is in the middle between hobby grade and toy. But the one we're going to next, it's a real toy. As soon as I find it. Oh, here it is. Kind of like a bull in a china shop. Here it is. This is the DE69 by DeeRC. My little 3-year-old, he loves this one, and I'm going to show you why in just a moment. But this is a toy. This thing does about 10 miles an hour. It's not very fast, but you can drive it through grass, you can drive it through dirt, you can drive it through mud, you can take it anywhere you want to take it, no problem whatsoever. But the thing that surprised me the most about this little car was the suspension. They modeled it after a rock crawler, so you have a ton of suspension travel. But if you look on the bottom, like underneath, it has a true 4-link setup. And it's like, you got this cheap little car, it costs $34, and you have a real 4-link with drive shafts. How crazy is that? But here's the magic behind this one. It does have a motor in the front and the back, okay? So it is a 2-motor car. And like I said, it's not very fast, but it's really capable. But we're gonna turn it on because I'm gonna show you some of the magic. As you can see already, it lights up. How fun is that? And when you turn the controller on, you know, you can see that's wide open right there. But you can see that the you can change with the controller the lights. You can make them blink, you can make them flash, you can make them fade, you can turn them off. But this is what my little one likes about it. It's got a jet engine in the back. Check that out. This thing's blowing smoke. It's got a little, it basically runs off water. You put water in the top, and it's got a little vaporizer in the back. And when it's driving, you got the LEDs lighting it up, and it just looks like a jet engine. And the kids just think it's really cool because you got smoke blowing out the back. It's going so fast, it's going hyper speed all the way to 88 miles an hour. But just a really fun, cool little car. This is a total kid car, 100% beginner. It's slow, like I said, like 10 miles an hour, but it's very capable. So if you have a little one that's learning RC, and I'm talking 3, 4, 5 years old, you can give them this while you're driving your RC, and they can cruise around the yard. They can go through the grass. They're not going to get stuck on everything because it actually has enough power to pull itself over grass and dirt and all that stuff. It's not what, you know, what do you call those trucks that never see the dirt? I can't remember. If you remember, just comment. I don't know if it's like a something queen or something. I don't know. I forgot what to call it. Pavement pounder, maybe. I don't know. But this can go off-road. It's capable off-road. Your little one's going to have a ton of fun with it, just cruising it around. And in my case, this is my decoy, because when I'm driving the ones that go 30 miles an hour, my 3-year-old, he wants to take it from me and drive it. I'm not going to let him drive a car that does 30. So I give him this one, and he gets to drive his cool one with the smoke blowing out the back while I'm tearing up the street with mine. So fun, cool little car, $34.99. You can't beat it with a stick. And it's going to be fun. Now let's see. We have one more, well, a couple more that we're going to look at. And this is not DeeRC, and it is not legendary. This one is actually made by a company. Sorry. I need to get organized in my life. But this is a FPV car. And what that means is first person view. And what that translates to is on the roll cage, you have a camera and you can see what this sees. So it's kind of fun. It's kind of cool. I actually have driven this and used it. It's not too bad. I'm not going to lie to you and say that it's the most capable RC. You better keep it on the street or on the sidewalk. This is not going through grass, but I don't think that's what it was intended for. But it is a pavement princess. I'll just say it. It gets stuck in grass very easily. But here's the controller, and if you notice, the controller has a phone mount. And what you do is you put your phone in here, you connect to the car via Wi-Fi, and once you make that Wi-Fi connection, you can cruise this little guy around and look on your phone and see what it sees. And I was actually able to go last night and go terrorize my neighbor. I just sat by my front door and I drove down the driveway and down the street, up underneath his car, up to his garage, and checked out what he was doing, and then I backed out and drove it home. And it's just a fun little gimmicky car. Now it is $59.99. I'm thinking that it's that much money because of the fact that it has a camera on it. It's not due to its jumping abilities or off-roaded abilities, because you're not taking it off-road and you're not jumping. It's really slow. It's probably about the speed of a walk, but you're not buying this to take it to the track. You're going to buy this to drive around your house and spy on your kids, or you're going to drive it to go pick on your neighbor, or if you just like to see things from the mini world, that's what this is good for. And I'm not going to lie, I did have a really good time just cruising this up and down the street, seeing everything from that point of view. It's kind of like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, if you've ever seen that movie. I'm probably dating myself by saying that. Oh, we got a follow from Ernesto. Thank you, Ernesto. And here is your celebratory horn. Thank you so much for the follow. Now, I have an idea, and I see I have 9 people on Amazon, which is probably a world record for me. I was thinking, because my goal is to get 2,000 followers. And I have quite a few RC cars, ranging from little small ones like this to quite large ones. What do you guys think that once I hit 2,000 followers, I'll do like a drawing or a raffle or a contest, and whoever wins the contest can pick out any RC car that I have that they want, and I ship it to you. Do y'all think that would be like a cool thing to do? And every week we could update like how many people are watching and all this stuff, and you know, we hit the 2K mark, we do a spinning, and you can pick any RC car that I have that I've showcased, you know, including things like this. This is going to be on a separate show. This is an actual excavator, fully functioning excavator. I have a front end loader. I have 8 scale crawler. I have boats, and I just thought it'd be a cool idea that everybody could kind of say, hey, you know, I like that one. If I win the contest, I'm going to pick that one. And then, you know, if you win, you pick out any car that you want, and I send it to you. So look for that. I'm going to try to set that up. I want to have a board behind me that's going to kind of track the whole thing and, you know, make it possibility. So let me know what you think about that idea. Just drop a comment and say, yeah, that would be awesome. We'd love to pick one of your RC cars, and you could pick any of them. But like I said, we'll set that up for whenever I hit the 2,000 mark, which we have a ways to go, but I just started, so we will see. And with Christmas coming, who knows, right? All right, so enough blabbing. This is the FPV car. It's $59.99. You can see what it sees. You can cruise around your neighborhood, keep it out of the grass. If you had hard packed dirt, probably no problem whatsoever. It just didn't like the grass. But like I said, you put your phone on the controller, you can see what it sees, and you don't need to look at the car. You can just see where you're driving with it. It has a pretty nice range. Like I said, I was a good 150 or so feet away, and I was still able to see the feed from the car. So very nice, very fun little car. And this is the Wow Zone. You should be able to see the link down there. All right, let's see what we have next. We already talked about the 360 camera, and this was when I was planning on talking about this, but if you don't know, I film all my videos and stuff with a 360 cam because I can just set it in one spot, and then you can pick in post where you want the camera to look as you're driving around. So it's kind of cool because it makes you look like you have a cameraman sitting there, and really you're just by yourself. All right, we're going to talk about the legendary legend. That's this guy right here. I had it out just a little while ago. This is a 1/10 scale car. It comes with this body. They have different color patterns or bodies that you can pick from. You don't have to get the blue and yellow. They have purples and they have other colors, so you can choose your body at checkout. But 10 scale, really, really nice shocks on this car. I was surprised at the suspension to where, like, this little guy right here, you can see how springy and bouncy it is. And this one actually almost feels like an oil-filled shock. I don't know if they are oil-filled or not, but they feel like they are. There's not a lot of bounce to this. It's actually a controlled suspension. And inside, it does run off of a 2S pack. It does do 17-18 miles an hour. They give you 2 batteries. You can hook them both up at the same time, so So you're going to get probably like 40 minutes or so runtime between these two battery packs. And they are 1600 mAh batteries. And they just fit in the body like this, and you tuck them away and you just have a grand old time. It's a great little basher. It's got, like I said, it's got the nice shocks all the way around with the aluminum caps. It's got the steel shafts, the dog bones in the front. They're stainless steel. You have the steel cups coming out of the differentials as well. It's not those plastic cups that are going to chip and break. On the bottom, you actually have aluminum skid plates. You can see I got some real damage here from jumping and ramping this. I really put this one through the paces at the skate park. I flipped it. I was jumping over handrails. I took my camera out with it once. And it just, these cars just don't really break. You really have to try to break them. And that's what makes them so much fun, especially for your beginner, because you can buy this car, it's ready to go. You charge your batteries and you just go have fun. You know, you're cruising nearly 20 miles an hour. You can ramp them, you can jump them, you can go through dirt, you can go through mud. You don't want to go underwater, but if it's raining outside, it's not a big deal. I've driven these in the rain through the grass and all that with zero issues whatsoever. And it's just a really good first car, or just a front yard basher. Even if you own something like a Traxxas X Max or whatever that costs you $1,000. If you live in a neighborhood, you're not going to go out and drive around in your front yard and cruise up and down the street, because you might hit a car, you might hit somebody. It's just a very fast car that needs a larger, more open area, to where the little 10 scale cars like this, and even the little 18th scale guys like this, are great for neighborhoods and smaller areas. And like I said, we took this to the skate park and we were jumping all the ramps. We were clearing them like all the way off the back of the ramps. We were going all through the pump track and all that stuff. And we just had a really good time with this car. I don't think I have any footage queued up for that. Let me see what this video is. Which one is this? All right, so it's raining a little bit, but we're out in the front yard. Yeah, that's the little 9300. We already talked about that guy. But like I said, it's a 18 mile an hour car. It jumps extremely well. It has great suspension. It has the steel dog bones all the way around. The only thing that I really don't like about this is you can't see the steering servo. You can't see the motors, so you really have no idea what motor's in it. I'm about 99.9% sure it's a brush motor. But, you know, it would be nice if that stuff was a little more accessible. You have to blow the whole car apart to do that. But, you know, on the flip side of that, this wasn't really made to be an upgradable car. This is just a ready to run as it is basher. And just have a lot of fun with it. I really can't complain. It's excellent for the yard. It's excellent for the kids. If you just want to go outside and cruise a little bit and have fun, it's a great car for that. And you can't beat the price. The price that you pay for these cars compared to what you get at Walmart and Target and all those other big places, I mean, you get very little car there for your money. Here you get more car for sure. I mean, it's just very nice. I don't know what else to say about it. I like it. Now, if you don't like the bigger cars and you live in a smaller area, this is the little legendary Triton. This was my favorite and our fastest car for a long time. This little guy right here, he pulls wheelies in the grass just by hitting the trigger, and this little dude does about 19 miles an hour, believe it or not. He's like an 18th scale. As you can see, he's quite tiny. My hand covers almost the entire truck, but it's fast, it's quick, it's four-wheel drive. If you look underneath, this is made by the same company that makes the Legend. And so you can't see the motor, you can't see the servo. It's all enclosed just like the other one. But this car does have the steel shafts and the shocks. It's got nice shocks. It's got the dog bones all the way around. They are plastic dog bones. So it has the plastic gears inside the differential too. But for something this small, you really don't need steel. I mean, I've been driving this thing for months, at least 6-8 months. And this has been the go-to basher for me and for the kids. And you get a ton of runtime, 20 minutes per battery, so around 40 minutes with the two hooked up like that. You can't hook them both up with an adapter plug that they give you. And it's just a great little car. I just have no complaints about this guy. And just super, super quick. And if you're watching and you're interested, I do have video of the bigger toy right here. This is the DeeRC 9500E. If you want to see me ramp this off the roof, drop a comment. I'll show it to you right now. And I also have video of the 302E going 13 feet straight up in the air, bouncing off a tree branch. If you want to see that, let me know. And I can queue either one of those videos up for you. But super fun little car to have something this small. It does just about almost 20 miles an hour. I mean, it does 19 miles an hour. And it's just great fun. It goes through the grass, the tall grass. Now, if the grass gets too thick or tall with these tiny little tires, of course, you're going to get stuck. But it's not due to the power of this thing. The wheels just keep spinning. And this is the legendary Triton. Great little dude. So which car do you think you guys like the most? Do you like 302? This is a 302E. This is a brushless one made by DeeRC. You can see it's fully upgradable, more of a hobby grade. I'll switch to it real quick. I keep getting too far from my microphone. But it's $159. There is a coupon code scrolling across the bottom of my screen if you want to get it a little bit cheaper. I think it's going to give you like 15-20% off. And like I said, it's brushless. It's got a 1/4-inch thick stainless drive shaft from front to back. It's got steel differentials. The cups for the outputs are steel. The shafts, the dog bones on the outside are steel. It's got the all aluminum shock bodies, front and rear. And on 2S, this car does 19 miles an hour on a 2S battery pack. And I was kind of like, okay, the box says it went faster than that, and I was only getting 19-20 miles an hour out of it. And then so I talked to DeeRC. I was like, why am I not getting the speed? Well, come to find out, you can run a 3S, an 11-volt battery on this. And if you look on the fine print on the speed controller, it will tell you 2S, 3S. Now I get 30 miles an hour out of this thing, and it's absolutely insane and ridiculous. Just super, super fast. It comes with the wheel stiffeners on the side that you can attach. And you get extra gears, you get an extra pinion, you get extra gears for in the differential in case you strip one of those metal differentials out. Just a good little car. And that's why it's $159, because of all the steel in this. With the steel differential, steel drive shaft, steel, the aluminum shocks, the aluminum wheel stiffeners. There's just nothing to complain about. Like I said, I'll show it to you anyway. In case y'all want to see it, I'm going to put it 13 feet in the air right now. At least. And just no problems whatsoever. I landed on the front, landed on the side, landed on the wheels. Nothing ever broke on this. I did pop a dog bone out. I must admit, I was going full speed across the skate park and I caught one wheel and it made the dog bone pop out of the cup slightly right here. And I was able to just put my finger on the dog bone and keep it from moving. I just spun the wheel like 1/4 inch and it popped back in. But that was the only time it came out, and it was a quick, easy fix. And what's, like I said, is great about these, if you do tear an A-arm completely off of this car, or you destroy a shock or a shock tower, the parts are on Amazon. You just go search parts for the DeeRC 302E, and you're going to get A-arms and output shafts and all that stuff. And what you can't find on Amazon, in the manual, you have an exploded view with a parts list and the contact information for the company to where you can just order the parts that you need. And they're very, very reasonable as well. So no complaints. The differentials, for instance, to replace the steel differential in the front or the back is $9. and you know, you can't beat that for $9. And that's probably one of the more expensive parts that you can get. You can upgrade this motor if you wanted to. You could upgrade the speed control, and you know, you could see this thing doing 45 miles an hour if you did those upgrades. But I like it at 30. It's really too fast kind of at 30 because it just loses traction and spins around and pulls wheelies, and just maybe too much for an old man like me. But if you're a young hotshot like whoever may be watching, you might like it. I like it. I can't wait to jump it. I'm going to see how far. I'm going to try to jump it from the ground to the roof, if I can do that without putting it through a window. But I'll make sure I record that and share that with you guys on a future live, because I want to test them. I want to see if they're going to break, because if they're going to break easy, I'm going to let you know that this is going to break easy. And out of all these legendary and DRCs that I've had, I haven't broken one of them yet. And you can tell, you know, from some of these videos, like I do quite a bit of ramping. Like if I'm not jumping a ramp, then what's the point? Who wants to just drive in circles all day? You know what I mean? So you got to ramp them. You got to take them to the skate park and take them through the grass and the dirt and the mud and everything else, because that's what they're for. But anyway, do you guys have any questions whatsoever about any of these wonderful vehicles? If you do, just let me know, because we're going to go ahead. We're going to bring this little live stream to an end, because my beautiful wife, she's got a live stream coming up right after me, but she does hers on a different platform, so I can't tell you about it. But you know, that's what we do in the evenings. I do Amazon, she does her platform. So I want to thank everybody so much for joining me and watching me on my live stream. I hope you had fun watching these little cars in action and learning a little bit about them. And I will be back. I'm going to try to get to where I do this every day, but right now I'm kind of doing it every other day. And every time I come back, I bring more footage of these vehicles running. So if you have a question, send me a question. If there's something you want to see, let me know. I have another camera. I'm going to start using my GoPro for a close-up cam. So when I'm explaining these things to you and showing you the shocks and dog bones, I can actually get it really close to the car, so you can actually see better what I'm talking about. Because I know by me just holding it like this, you're not seeing a lot of detail. So look forward to that. And if you like RC cars, if you like RC construction equipment, because I do have an excavator and a front end loader. If you like drones, I'm putting a whole drone show together with all Holystone and DeeRC drones. Just follow me and join me when you see me go live. Thank you guys so much for watching. Until next time.